Last year, 2025, I spent about 10 million.
Yeah. $10 million in ads.
It was a lot, yeah. All that I'm doing is I'm buying data. Ads is just numbers on a screen. The more money I can spend, the quicker I can get that data and make better data-driven decisions, right? But emotion has to be out of it. You cannot have emotions when you run ads. I was talking to a mentor of mine. He was like, I have a Lambo. It's just in the dealership. They're holding the keys for me. And I was gonna ask him, I was like, wait, you bought a Lambo? But then I understood what he was saying. He's like, it's already set out for me. I just have to get there.
Yeah.
Just because the Lord told you something doesn't mean it's gonna happen right then. And so between when he told you and when it does happen, you still have to steward that.
Welcome to the Faithustle Podcast. I am so excited for another conversation we have around building business God's way. This episode is going to be incredible if you're looking to grow in your knowledge of how to run paid advertising for your business, of how to run traffic and conversions so that you can scale your company, as well as just be inspired by a story of someone who has literally done business the Lord's way and is scaling. This is a conversation for you that you're not going to want to miss. Want to take a quick moment to shout out Lux Creative for allowing us to use this beautiful studio space in McKinney, Texas. If you have a podcast and you want to have it professionally filmed in a beautiful environment, make sure to hit the link in my description so that you can book your session. Tell them that Faithustle sent you. They'll send you a little discount. But thank you guys to the Lux Creative team for your support for this podcast. And so I am so excited for today's conversation. This gentleman he's not just a business guy. He's not just an ads guy. He is all those different things. I mean, he's run millions and millions of dollars in ad spend for ginormous companies. But more than that, he is a personal friend, a personal brother. He's on the Faithustle team. He helps us with our advertising. But he is someone that I just find as a dear, dear brother, dear friend. We've done a lot of life together. So I'm excited for this conversation. Welcome to the show, Sydney.
Let's go, dude. I'm excited to be here, bro.
Dude, we're here, bro. I was on your show.
Yeah, dude. You're the first guest on my show.
I was the first guest. That's actually crazy. Yeah, man. And we had such a great time. And I'm excited for today's conversation.
Me too. It's been a long time coming.
Dude, we met at church, I'm pretty sure.
Bro, yes, it was outside. There was some event going on at church. Me, you, Bria, and like two other people were walking out to our cars. And I think that was the first time I met you.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't realize that. That's wild. Yeah, we met there and then just started building the friendship. And we had a bunch of mutual connections and friends, Brandon Forbes and Shark, who's been on the show. And man, it's just been cool to see the growth in you. And you and your wife just announced you guys are pregnant with your first baby. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I was one of the first ones that found out. I was one of the many few.
Yeah.
And literally
you and everyone in Chipotle found out.
In Chipotle, literally. There's a video, I don't know if we'll show it here, but he literally like shocked me, was like, hey, let me know what you think of this like photo or this piece of content. And then it was the pregnancy thing. I was like, what the? It was so fun.
It was great.
And no, it's been really cool to do life with you. But man, you are brilliant when it comes to ads. And we have so many business owners that listen to the show. And a lot of them are only doing organic or word of mouth, which is great. But you and I both know in order to scale, you have to unlock the power of advertising, specifically with meta ads, of just how it, and some people have dabbled with it. I think a lot of people have probably don't have a lot of formal training of like how to do it right. But I mean, your background experience, I mean, how many millions of dollars in ads have you run over the years?
Last year, 2025, I spent about 10 million. Yeah.
$10 million in ads.
It was a lot, yeah. About 10 million. Generated about a 5x return between everyone that I worked with. So about like 50 million in like revenue. It's been a lot. I would say last year, I've been doing this for like 5-6 years, but last year with the opportunities that, God gave me and stuff, it was like hockey stick growth. Like I had never managed that much in a year in my life.
Jeez.
It was insane. But a lot of refining, a lot of like really honing in the craft. But yeah, over 10 million, that's for sure.
That is an insane number. Yeah. But it's awesome just to see how you moved into it, and just, I mean, every time we talk and you talk strategy, it's mind blowing to me of like how you're able to process and think. Now, having done that for so many people, for so many clients, obviously you've had to see patterns of like things that work, that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to spend some of the beginning moments kind of going into that, and then we'll kind of get more in your story and all these different things.
For sure.
But for someone who's watching and they're like, man, I know I need to be running ads. I feel guilty that I haven't been, or, you know, I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying, but I really don't know what I'm doing. What are some things, before we get to things that you should do, like what are things that like you absolutely should not do? Like, hey, it does not work in 2026. That stop doing this, or things that you saw people doing that was hindering their conversions or their growth.
Yeah. I would say one of the biggest things not to do is spend more than you're comfortable with. And that's not super much of a tactical answer, but it really is, because if you spend more than you're comfortable with, you're going to be looking at the ads from a place of scarcity and panic, like you're wasting money. And so when you come from that place, you don't allow the ads to just do what they need to do, right? Facebook, Google, TikTok, wherever you're running ads, it's an algorithm that needs to learn, right? So a lot of people, they don't even get out of like what we call the testing phase and like the learning phase, because they spend $100 and they only have $20 to spend on ads, and they're freaking out, so they turn it off when it could have been working really well.
Right.
So like with ads, it's very much data-driven decisions, very much logic-based. There's no emotion behind it. And so I would say a good reason to have someone run your ads is because if you're more of an emotional person, which is fair, like you work hard for your money.
Yeah.
Like obviously you're gonna be like, you know, I want my money to make me money, not just lose money.
Yeah.
But it leads to decisions that will actually hurt your business, right?
Yeah.
So being very much like detached from the emotions of spending money on ads, because we're not like, what I tell people in the mindset shift that helped me get out of that, because when I first started running ads, especially for myself, I was very scared.
Yeah, when it's your own money,
yeah,
it's a whole different than you're doing it for a client. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, like one of my this is crazy. My first client, big Instagram influencer, you probably have heard of him. Do you know who Landon, by the way, is?
Yes.
It's my first client.
Yes. Love Landon.
He was my first client. And I remember like when I was running his ads, I was like super scared, because I was like, man, I'm spending money on like all these different things. But a mindset shift is like, all that I'm doing is I'm buying data. Ads is just numbers on a screen. The more money I can spend, the quicker I can get that data and make better data-driven decisions, right? But emotion has to be out of it. You cannot have emotions when you run ads, especially when it's your own money. Because if I'm running ads for you, like let's say I was a beginner, I'm running ads for you. This is going to sound kind of weird, but I'm not going to care for your money as much as I would care for mine.
Yes, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So taking the emotion out of it is super important, so that you can actually look at what's happening and make decisions based off of that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's that investing rule of, you know, only invest what you're comfortable losing.
Yeah.
You know, like I used to do advertising for a long time. We did paid ads for a lot of different companies, and the big thing was like, it was because there was kind of that scarcity mentality. It was like, I'm looking for a return in month 1 or in 2 weeks, and it's like you don't give it enough time to learn and to really understand, because probably they're spending what they're not comfortable with, because it's more like the lottery or like magic. It's like, oh, if I turn it on, I'm gonna do this and close my eyes, and like hopefully it will like magically work.
Yep.
Where it's more of a science rather than just luck.
And over time, you'll get to that predictability. I was talking about this a couple of days with someone, because like in the industry that I moved into now, like we've been talking about, I've been running ads in there too. And someone was asking me, like they've never ran ads, and they were like, if I spend this much, how much do I like expect to get? I was like, I don't know, because it's a new industry, never ran it before. But if you ask me for all the other industries that I've ran, like think of it like this: if you ran $500 in ads and that's all you ran, and I was to ask you like, hey, if you were to run another 500, what's your cost per client going to be? What's your cost per call? What's your cost per lead? You're probably not going to have a solid idea. But I mean, like last year, $10 million. Majority of that was in the gym space. One of the companies I worked for was in the gym space. You could ask me pretty much anywhere in the country, like, hey, I'm opening up a CrossFit gym in New York. How much should I spend? How much, is a lead going to be? And I could pretty much tell you because I've bought more data. I have more data because there's more money that's been spent. And the more data you get, the accurate that data becomes, the more accurate that data becomes.
That's good. That is brilliant. I hope people are paying attention to this. So basically, you got to be unemotional. Don't spend what you're uncomfortable with. What other things are people should avoid doing? Yeah,
I would say, and I mean, I think this is for creatives in general. There's this quote. What's the quote? It's like, it has to do with copying, right? You could take inspiration from people, but don't copy word for word.
Yes.
Right. And if you do that, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot, because what happens is over the past couple of years in marketing, especially in like online coaching, what's happened is someone trailblazed this new strategy and it works great. And then they teach someone and then more and more people get on it, which is okay. But then what starts happening is it kind of ruins it for everyone else, because majority of the people that start doing this strategy don't even know like how it works, why it works. They just like see your ad and they'll literally replicate it word for word. I've literally seen that so many times.
Yeah. But like if it worked for them, it's got to work for me.
Yeah. And so what happens is like buyer sophistication goes up. Buyer sophistication is basically, just how like skeptical is that person. Skepticism goes up because it's like, well, I'm seeing all these ads saying the exact same thing. 1 out of 10 of these people know what they're doing. The rest don't.
Yeah.
So I'm
just
not gonna buy. Right. And then it just hurts everyone. It hurts the people that are doing well. I mean, the people that are doing well are just going to continue doing well because they'll just innovate a new way.
Yeah.
But don't copy. Learn why something works and then build from there.
If you're a Christian entrepreneur, you know that managing your books can be tiresome. It can take a lot of unnecessary time away from actually building the business. But my friends over at Branch Bookkeeping are here to help. Branch Bookkeeping is one of the incredible sponsors of this channel. Whether it's bookkeeping, payroll, or fractional CFO services, they help you run the numbers so that you can focus on your calling. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit their website to start your journey towards financial clarity. It's making me think of this one leadership principle I heard. I don't even know who said it first, but basically that if you don't know how something works, you won't be able to fix it when it breaks.
Yeah.
Of like, if you don't take the time to really understand why this works the way it works, then if you have to troubleshoot if something goes wrong, it's like, well, I just did what these guys did, And so like you said, it's like, yes, there's some imitation you can do practically, but it's like taking the time to learn for yourself. And one of the things that I've noticed about you and in our friendship, you are like a researcher. Like you like I've never seen someone that will spend more hours. Like you will become an expert in something in like a week, and which I think is a gift and a skill, but that also just speaks to your dedication to like your craft. So we've talked about what not to do. So don't copy, word for word. Only spend what you're comfortable with. What would you recommend in 2026? Like obviously Meta, we talked about Meta has changed so much. Even when I was running ads for clients like some years back, it's completely changed. Like you can't use the same strategy at all.
Yeah.
What are you seeing that's working right now?
Yeah. So there's like, I'll answer it in 2 different ways. The first way I would say is really understand what you're selling. If we zoom out and we figure out what we're doing, why we're doing it, like if we look at ads, yes, an ad's an ad, but what is that? It's just, I'm putting my offer in front of more people, right? So instead of me saying, hey, Mukwenda, I do this, and then going to the next person, I'm showing it to 1,000 people at once. Right. So it's still knowing, like really understand what you do and how to articulate what you do. Because on a tactical level, what's happened in Meta specifically, most of what I do is in Meta. I don't really touch Google or anything like that. It's mostly just Meta. I would say back in 2016 was probably the easiest to run ads. This is when Alex Hormozy was, coming out, starting Gym Launch and all that stuff. And he would put like, the crappiest ad and it would convert like crazy, right? After that, I would say that happened for about a couple years, and there was a good amount of time where media buying became very, very, very technical. Testing audiences, building different audiences, testing creative, like in a very technical way. But now, I would say since July of 2025, there was this update that came out. It's called Andromeda. I used to call it Andromeda in my old. A friend of mine in the ad space made fun of me. He's like, it's Andromeda. Okay, so there was an update called Andromeda.
Yeah.
And so essentially, like, if I was to like simply explain what Andromeda is it basically is forcing marketers to be better marketers, not media buyers. What I mean by that is it's not as technical, which could help people, but you have to be that much better at really articulating what you do.
Got it.
So like before, let's say 2020 to early 2025, what would work is, you can have, let's say you were recording some video ads and you had like 3 ad bodies, which is like the meat of the ad.
Yeah.
Right? You can get 20, 30, 40 different hooks, put all those hooks on those bodies. You have 40 times 3, that's 120 different ads.
Yeah.
Because all the
You're
hook and body
just changing
variations.
out the first hook. Yeah.
You figure out which hook works, then you go into bodies and then you go into audience testing. Now, what the algorithm is doing is instead of looking at, okay, which hook is going to appeal to the biggest part of the audience, what it's now doing is it's finding small pockets of the audience that resonate with a specific messaging in the ad. So, like, to use an example, let's say we're running ads for dog food, right? One angle you could have is, this dog food can help your dog live longer. I don't know if that actually happens, but
Yeah.
can help your dog live longer.
Yeah.
Another one is, this dog food can help your dog have like a shinier coat. Another one, it gives it more energy, whatever it is, right? But these are all very specific angles. They're not just hooks to get people in, and then there's like the same body, right? So you really have to know, like, what do you do? Who does it help? Who does it not help? What does it help them do? And you find angles,
Gotcha.
right? So literally all we really do now is I'll go and grab like 6 to 10 different angles, right? I find distinct messaging, 6 to 10 different variations. And within those variations, I'll make 5 to 10 different variations of those.
Gotcha.
So that's like 30 to 60 ads. I'll put them all in an ad set, open targeting, and just let all of them run.
And then just whatever runs the best.
You'll start finding those leading indicators. Facebook will start picking at some ads to spend more money on. That's a leading indicator that it might spend well. If it doesn't, you turn it off and let it go to another ad. But it's very, very much optimizing for what they're calling creative diversity. One, creative diversity is like, images, videos, memes, Twitter posts, like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But then creative diversity is also in the messaging.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Man, that's brilliant. So what I'm hearing you say is that in 2026, to win doing ads in Meta, it's less about, because I do remember, like even last year for some clients, like they're like, yeah, give us like 10, we're going to do like 10 hooks.
Exactly.
All in the beginning, same creative. And now it's like, no, you actually have to do kind of individuals. It's more about the messaging and the whole thing being a cohesive thing, because they're going to try to put it to the right people. Then I guess a lazy man's method of just like, I'm just going to do a bunch of different hooks in the beginning.
Yep.
It's just changed.
Yep.
And so we just have to be more creative and put our thinking caps on a little bit more. And so I hope you all appreciate it. This was literally like 15 minutes a game that we just gave y'all. And that's why they subscribed.
Amen.
No, this is so. Thank you for sharing all that wisdom, bro. Okay.
For sure.
Now I want to go back.
Yeah.
How did Sydney get here to doing all of this? And listen, you have a wild testimony. I know we could be here hours just talking about your testimony just in general. We don't have that time, but I love to just hear, how'd you get into all of this? And then also just how has the Lord led you in this? Because it's very much been led by God's Spirit. The Lord's done a deep work in you, just in your own walk with him in this process. So I'd love to just kind of get a higher view of all this.
Yeah. So graduated high school, went to a boarding school in Orlando for soccer. My dream was to become a pro soccer player. And
World Cup being here in Dallas. Are you on?
Bro, it's so expensive, bro.
Oh, is it for real?
Dude, yeah. My aunt, when we announced our pregnancy and I called my aunt in Massachusetts, I called her and told her we were pregnant, and then she like basically ignored it for a second, and she's like, "Bro, have you seen the World Cup tickets?" I was like, "Yes." Did you hear you're having a nephew? Like,
you didn't hear that?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But they're super expensive. But anyways, yeah. So dream was to be a pro soccer player. Had the opportunity, got invited to play for the United States in U18 tournament in Europe. Yeah.
I don't think I knew that. That's wild.
Yeah, a week after I broke my arm in a soccer tournament and it split my growth plate.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went to the doctor. He's like, yeah, your arm's never going to grow again. Like you'll have to have like surgery, put metal rods so it can grow so you can have like a regular size arm. And I was like, okay, cool. But I have a soccer tournament coming up with the United States. And he was like, no, I can't let you go. Like your arm's really bad. It's really messed up. So that went bye-bye. It was all God's plan. So I ended up graduating high school, got into college, and college just wasn't really like sticking for me. I just really couldn't find my zone. I started in video production. I love video. I love photo. I started in video production. I was like, don't want to do this. Then went into like integrated business, which is like your general business degree. I was like, don't want to really do this. And then went into marketing. And at this point, when I switched, I had one semester until I was put on academic probation.
Whoa.
So if I failed a class in this semester, I would have been put on academic probation and they would have kicked me out of the College of Business.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm like, okay, let's do marketing. So I switched my major again. And I'm in the intro to marketing class. There's 200 students. It was made up of two things. It was made up of tests and quizzes, and it was made up of a semester-long project where we had to develop a product and market it.
Got it.
I failed every single test and quiz. I can't take tests, bro.
Dude, it's hard, man.
I can't. I get so much test anxiety, and then like there's cameras everywhere, someone walking behind you. I'm like, screw this.
Yeah.
So I failed the class, and I was gonna get put on academic probation, but I dropped out halfway through the semester. But the project, out of 200 kids, I was the only one that got 100%. The person right below me got an 87% on the project. So I was like an outlier.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, like there's something here. Around this time, my wife, we were dating at the time, but my wife's cousin, he ran a fitness coaching company, online fitness coaching. And he was just looking for like an executive assistant to like, log trainerize workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I need money. I don't have work. So, I get paid a couple $100 a week for it. As I started doing it, he asked me, he was like, yo, Sid, do you know how to run ads? I was like, no, never ran an ad in my life. Why'd you ask me that?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I have like this course that I bought. You can go through it if you want. You can run my ads. I just really don't want to run my ads. So I started going through the course and I found like a lot of interest in it. And it was things that just in marketing in general, I feel like God's given me a gift for it.
Yeah.
Glory to God. So as I was going through this course, I was like kind of referencing the project that I had just did, and like things were just clicking. And so I started running his ads, wanted to build my own agency, got Landon as my first client, ran his ads for like his computer skin company before he like stopped it, and just started building from there. Started learning, failed a lot, learned some more, spent people's money, lost them money, got them more money.
That's part of the process.
Yeah. And so I ended up hitting this I don't know if it's like a wall, but I was like really down. I wasn't a good business owner back then and stuff. And I arguably I wasn't really a business owner. I just had like a couple clients.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I feel like I'm getting kind of burnt out. I don't know if I want to do this. Because most of my clients were e-commerce clients, and I hate running e-commerce ads.
You're not the only one that I know that hates running e-commerce.
Bro, I hate it. So there's too many variables. Yeah. Anyways, so I remember it was Christmas Eve. I'm at my brother's house. We're having Christmas there, and one of my buddies hit me up. Good friend of mine. We met in my first business mentorship ever, which is where I met Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Brandon was a coach in the first business mentorship that I enrolled in.
No way.
Last $1,000 on a credit card.
Dang.
It's crazy. And he's like, yo, TJ is looking for like a customer success manager. Do you want to do it? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, let me hit TJ up. He's another guy in the business mentorship.
Yeah.
So I ended up becoming this guy's customer success manager, and he taught car salesmen how to generate their own leads using content and ads. And so I was like, I can run their ads. So I started running their ads, ended up blowing up. Like, these car salesmen started making tons of money. And I was like, okay, I feel like I'm actually really good at this.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I'll run your ads too to grow the business. So I became his like growth operator, like his like CMO. And from there, I just got into like fractional CMO work. So I would pitch businesses like, hey, I'll do all your marketing. I'll build out all your funnels, marketing systems, and I'll just take a percentage of what I make you. And now we're here.
Brilliant. Wow. That's actually, it's insane how much God has led your journey, but it came from things not working or closed doors.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about it this morning of the importance of discernment, and there's discernment of, Lord, is this the right door? And if this is the wrong door. Mm-hmm. And equally important, because there's times of like, hey, God's saying, hey, go. Mm-hmm. Like, you might not have the eyes of faith to see it, but God's like, hey, go.
Yep.
And then there's times of like, you think it's the right door, you think it's the one that you're supposed to go, and then God shuts it. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, what the heck, God? I had this perfectly mapped out in my head. This is how you were going to do this for me, you know? Yep. But then God shuts the door, but then he leads. So I love that in your journey, you know, I think this podcast, it helps to inspire people, because I think when we look at someone's resume or their bio or whatever they put on Instagram, it feels like it was just like a straight trajectory path. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, no bumps around the road, nothing at all. It was just straight to, you're running 10 million in ads, you know what I mean? And now what you're doing with insurance, which we'll get into, and just crushing it, scaling like insanely fast. That, it just happened overnight. It's like, no, this was a process. This was a journey that God put you on, and being okay with his pivots, you know, being okay with the interruptions. Yep. And so, man, okay, so within that, God's leading you. Obviously, this is where you're at. Talk to me, because one of the things that I really value from your story, well, one, you had a massive theological change, even of your own perspective of faith. Yeah. That was huge for both you and your wife. It was like, I mean, your wife's video went viral because of it. Yeah. Which we can get into. Yeah. But man, in the midst of this, God started shifting things, because when you and I became friends, God basically pivoted you very quickly into what you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about that season, because again, I don't know why I feel like there's this theme of like pivots and being okay with the interruptions of God, right? Of like, you were going this way, you thought this was the plan, and then God changes it. Talk to me about that season, because I think that was very, very significant. Oh, dude,
It was the most significant thing in my life, because so me and my wife, we've known each other since we were kids. We grew up in this church, not theologically sound, and very like works-based. Mm-hmm. So we have a bad theology on salvation, the essential character of God. Mm-hmm. Because when you grow up thinking that like, if you don't do this, like, you're going to hell. Yeah. Everyone else is against you, like all this stuff, yada, yada, yada. You look at God as like a dictator or a judge, and not like gracious. And he is a judge. Yes. But there's so much more to God than the rules that he's set out. Yes. And you tend to become a Pharisee and just rely on the rules and the regulations, and don't have a relationship, where I think it's in 2 Timothy where it says like, they have a form of godliness but deny its power. Yes. Right? Yes. So me and my wife, we get married, which, I mean, our whole dating life, that was a whole testimony in itself. Like my wife, she PTSD, like she had a very abusive relationship before me, PTSD, anxiety, depression, all that stuff. And we didn't even know, like, we had to navigate that. Like, it was insane. God really pulled through on that one too. But we get married, and a couple months later, we move out to Dallas. we're going to move out to Vegas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So the guy I was talking about in the auto industry, we were going to move out there because we had a connection. We got connected with the second biggest dealership group owner in the country.
Oh, snap.
And he was building this software, and he wanted us to basically like go into all of his dealerships, help them with the software, but also teach them our skills.
Got it.
But the Lord like really shut that door. But anyways, we come out here. I had pivoted. Brandon helped me start like an offer. I had my own coaching business going on. My wife had her own coaching business. We were doing well, like most money I've ever made. And move out here. And a month later, God tells me to shut it down.
This is a theme here on the show.
I was like, bro, like I'm making money.
Yeah.
I've never made money before.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. And I was really wrestling with it. It was something I wrestled with for a long time. But I ended up obeying and I shut it down. And from September to December, again, I moved out here just a month before, you know, I didn't have anything coming in. Couldn't get I was putting in for jobs, didn't really find anything that was like clicking and that God really wanted me to do. So he just had me sit on my butt for 3 months. And he was just like, bro, just chill out. Like, I got you. Like you're saying that, you know, you trust me as a father and as a provider. So like, you're going to have to trust me now. You can't just say it. You actually have to like, believe me. And so I was like, okay. So, you know, I don't know. The Lord provided. And the end of December, I'd finally gotten to this point where I was like, okay, God, like I do trust you. And it wasn't like, I trust you. And then like really not. It was like, okay, like I trust you. Like you're going to do what you need to do. And so the end of December, he ends up opening a door for me to work at, if y'all know like Alex Hermosi, his company, and running ads for them. That's where I spent most of the money last year.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is a blessing. This is a great blessing. So I end up working there and I start working. And then God tells my wife to shut her business down. Oh, man, it's crazy.
Yeah.
She's wrestling with it too. She ends up shutting it down. She got really burnt out. All the while, I'm really figuring out like who God is for who he says he is and not like what I was taught. And not to say like my parents, you know, they taught me bad theology and stuff, but like I wanted to figure out who God was for myself. Right.
Yeah.
And so we're just going through this season of, you know, I mean, when we were growing our businesses, like, yeah, we're making money, but we weren't really good stewards of our money. And so, you know, run up credit cards. Oh, we're going to pay it back. You know, we're making money, but then God says, shut your business down. I'm like, okay, wait, I have these credit cards.
And the bills don't stop. Yeah,
exactly. So it was a lot of learning these principles of God, of stewardship and, you know, faith and all that stuff. What was once a blessing quickly became a burden and misalignment when the season changes. Like God will put you in a season that's a blessing, but once the season changes, if you're holding on to the thing from that past season, it's going to become a burden. And so that's what started to happen. Like I'm working at gym lunch, and what once was a blessing that I prayed for became a lot of friction. And I'm just like, okay, God, there's friction. You're going to have to tell me what to do. Like, am I staying here? Am I going? All that stuff. And he slowly started to share, like, you know, your time's coming up. You're not going to be here forever. And I remember, bro, I'm working. I remember, like, literally, like, this was so significant to me. This was, I can remember the exact ad account I was in. And I'm working. And I just thought, like, oh, life's good. And, bro, like 30 minutes later, I had such a uneasy feeling in the spirit. And I just remember the Holy Spirit telling me, like, don't get comfortable. You're not going to be here much longer.
I remember you told me that, yeah.
And I was like, oh, my gosh. And, dude, I felt, like, so uncomfortable for days. Yeah, I ended up getting over it. And 3 weeks later, a month later, I have that same thing. I was like, man, life's good. I don't know what. Uncomfortable in the spirit. And he was like, don't get comfortable. You're not going to be here for a while. And from then, like, it just stuck. Like, there was a tension. And so I was like, God, I don't want to be here. I know you have more for me. but I don't want to leave quicker than what you want me to leave, but then when you want me to leave, right? A right move at a wrong time is a wrong move. And so I was like, tell me when, and I am out of here. Like, I am out of here, but I don't want to leave too soon.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of things that just started happening, dude. Like, just getting, I don't want to go too much into it just because, you know.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But things started happening, and I'm like, Lord, you're going to have to tell me when. Like, every time something would happen, I was like, so is this the day? Like,
is that what you meant?
Am
like
I putting my 2-minute notice right now? Like, screw 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I realized the Lord was teaching me, like, the thing that came up was David. Samuel told David that he was going to be king, but there was years before that actually happened.
Yes.
And what I learned was, like, are you still going to stay faithful? And are you still going to put your best out, even though you know I have something more for you? Because I could have easily just checked out and been like, screw this. Like, I'll just get fired. Like, I'm not going to put in the work. I'll just get fired. But it's like, no, just because the Lord told you something doesn't mean it's going to happen right then. And so between when he told you and when it does happen, you still have to steward that.
That's so good.
Right? So I'm stewarding it, doing well as well as I could. And I picked up this client, like an outside client, really big following. We did like 100K in like 9 days. Jeez. It was insane. Yeah. And I was like, great. So I was getting kind of back into like ads for like fractional CMO work because I wanted to kind of diverse my time and not put everything into the company I was working with. And bro, a day came up and our boy, Brandon, he's like, dude, I need your help. And I was like, okay, sure. Let's get on a call.
Yeah.
Mind you, I worked for Brandon before.
Yeah.
I was his like operations guy for a little while.
What's context for the people who don't know who Brandon is? Brandon, he was on our tour this last fall. He is, brilliant. He ran 2 very successful 7-figure coaching companies. Is an ads genius, just marketing genius. But funny enough, in the same way when God told you, hey, lay down your business, on our tour that we did for Faithustle, he literally told me that the Lord used the tour and the Holy Spirit spoke to him to lay down his business that was doing 7 figures, just in obedience. Yeah. Because he said so. And so he laid it down during the tour. And I had no idea of this until like the last night of the tour. I'm like, what? I did not know this. I was like, man, it's like, hey, come to my tour. You're going to lose your business.
Yeah, dude.
But with a sign
Building business God's way.
Exactly. But no, keep going. No, just wanted to give some context.
It seems like, before I keep going, it seems like building business God's way always starts with shut it down. I don't know if that's a theme that you get, but like...
Oh, very much so.
Shut it down.
Very much. There's a lot, not everyone, but there's a lot of people where tends to be the case. But I think part of it's like, you can't want a resurrection and not want a death.
Yeah.
Like, death precedes it. And I don't know if it's always as dramatic as that, but I think in some instances, God's like, hey...
Close up shop.
Like, you have to put to death your way.
Yeah.
And there's some things that we've built that they've been built on such a wrong foundation that God's like, hey, we got to clean house. We got to start from scratch.
Yep.
Vince Delmont, who's in Nashville, he spoke in our Nashville event. Great guy. We're about to do another event together.
Nice.
He was running an 8-figure coaching business.
Jeez.
For like almost 2 decades, he was like one of the top fitness guys on YouTube, all different stuff.
Jeez.
And recently really surrendered everything to the Lord. And God was like, shut it all down and start from scratch. And so he's starting from scratch and based off of one word from the Lord. And I think whether God's going to ask you to do it or not, that we're not here telling you, hey, shut down your business. What we are saying is, if God's really your Lord, he has every right to tell you what to do.
Something I've realized too is sometimes he'll tell you to shut it down or fill in the blank, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it won't actually happen because he wanted a test to see if you would actually do it.
Like an Abraham, Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like he says, kill your son, sacrifice him to me. And he was going to, it never happened, but the Lord just wanted to see if Abraham would actually do it.
Yeah.
If he put his trust in him. So anyways, I'm going to back up like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Me and my wife find out we're pregnant, which that in itself was insane with going to Brandon's men's retreat, Brandon and Hunter's retreat. And I got that whole like revelation there.
Yeah.
But we find out we're pregnant. And like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I'm at Upper Room. We're at the 5 p.m. And I write in my journal, I'm like, God, what's the next 9 months supposed to look like? Very much unknown to me. Because I knew I was leaving Gym Launch. I knew I was going to. It wasn't going to be permanent. And I just heard the Holy Spirit say, like, it's a builder's year. I didn't really know what that meant yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, sure. And shortly after, Brandon hits me up. He's like, yo, I need your help with something. Can we hop on a call? So I'm like, yeah, sure. So we get on a call. And he's basically telling me, like, hey, I'm starting this new business. But I have the coaching business, but I can't really do that anymore. And I need time for this business. So he was like going to give me like equity in the coaching company. He's like, you could build it, take it as far as you want. I was like, sure, great.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
And so get off that call with, the expectation that this is what we're going to start doing. And we get on another call and I ask him, I was like, by the way, what's the new business you're building?
Yeah.
And he breaks down this business that he's building. And I'm convinced it was the Holy Spirit speaking because I didn't really want to say this. But I was like, screw the coaching business. I'm just going to help you build this. And I was like, stupid. Why'd you say that? Come on.
Yeah.
But I just felt like the Lord on it. And during this time, I start getting words on Instagram from, what's his name? Josh or Joshua. He's a pastor at Mike Signorelli's church.
V1 church. Yeah.
V1, which is also very significant with that. And he basically, the first word that I got was, the Lord is telling you that it is a builder's year. I was like, wait, I just got this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't follow this guy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Never seen him before. And I just keep getting these words. And I mean, one of them was like, what you start in December, I will breathe on in January, establish in February, and multiply in March. And I'm like, whoa, that's very specific. It's a very specific timeline. So I'm getting these words. I'm like, who the heck is this guy?
Yeah.
So I go on his page. I'm like, oh, he's a pastor at Mike Signorelli's church. And I'm scrolling through his profile. And literally his profile is just like words that he'll get in his quiet time. And I just stop and click on a video. And I like scrolled deep. And I clicked on a video. And he said, when God tells you to start a new chapter, he'll always tell you to close one. Instantly, the Holy Spirit said, gym launch.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Okay, this is really happening now.
Yeah.
This is happening. And I called you that day.
Yes.
That was the day that I called you. But dude, I was struggling with it. Because like, it was weird too. Because I was like, man, this whole time I'm telling God, like, please, like, let me out of here. And then when the time comes for it to actually happen, I'm scared. Do you trust me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Friend, really quick, before we keep going, if you're enjoying the conversation we're having in this episode, you're going to love what we have inside the Faith Hustle Network. What's the Faith Hustle Network? I'm glad you asked. It's more than a podcast. It is a growing community of faith-driven entrepreneurs looking to do business God's way. We do weekly Bible studies, Friday strategy calls, and network with each other in our chats. You even get access to the people that you see on this show to ask your questions in real time and hear their wisdom and strategy that can help your business. Whether you're just getting started or you're scaling something big, this is where faith and business meet. If that describes you, tap the link in the description and get in the room today. Now enjoy the rest of the episode.
So I didn't want to tell my wife. I wanted to like kind of sit on it for a second because I didn't know how she was going to react because like we just found out we're having a kid.
Right, yeah.
And so I, after, in the afternoon, after I'm done working, she's done working, we go have dinner and I'm like, hey, I feel like the Lord's telling me to quit. And she's like, just obey.
Wow.
She's like, don't delay what the Lord has for us because you're not obeying.
Woo.
I was like, oh.
That's a woman of God right there.
A woman of God, Proverbs 31.
Come on.
Bro. So I'm like, okay, like I know I'm quitting. I just need to figure out when.
Yeah.
So I'm like January 1st.
Yeah.
I'm gonna quit January 1st.
Yeah.
Dude, not even like an hour later, bro. I'm on Instagram and I get a word from this pastor. Do not wait for the new year to start. Start now. And I'm like, hey, I got to put in my 2 weeks now. So I put in my 2 weeks, sent that off, and then started going all in and building this new business. And, you know, the favor of God's just on it. And there's just like a wind on it, dude.
I mean, that's saying it very lightly. I mean, obviously you don't have to get into all the weeds of the new business, but I mean, y'all have expanded very quickly, have added, almost 40 team members.
Yeah.
In a matter of, 2 months? Not even
2 months, dude.
And are just on track to hit some crazy numbers out of nowhere of just like obeying the Lord. And when he tells you to close a door, and now it's like you guys are set to hit probably 7 figures this year, if not 8.
Dude, Lord willing, bro.
Yeah.
Lord willing.
And which is, it's unbelievable. I think for me, it's a testament, especially for those who are watching. Again, God always has a theme for these.
Yeah.
And I think the theme for this is like, have the discernment that's necessary to be comfortable with the closed doors just as much as the yeses. And how we steward the closed doors. And realizing that, yes, there many times God's going to require death before resurrection. That's found through most of Scripture.
Yep.
And because God wants to work with bare bones, you know, and I think we can grow not just an attachment to. We just tend to like I'm a person I'm a person of habit. Like when something works,
you just do it.
I just work that thing till the cows come home.
Yep.
And so, which is not inherently bad, but God knows you'll be so dependent upon the system
and not him.
And not him, where it's like, well, he gives me my daily bread, not this thing. He's the one that is we just talked about it I was talking to somebody about early this morning of Deuteronomy 8. And actually, I want to pull this up here as we're talking, because obviously it's a very powerful verse, especially when it comes to wealth, right? I'm gonna pull up it here so we can have it here.
Yeah.
It says, okay, Deuteronomy 8, 8:18. You shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that He may confirm His covenant that He swore to His fathers as this day. And that word power, it means He'll, strength, capacity. To get means to get wealth is to make, to produce. But the whole context of this, He gives a condition in verse 11: take care lest you forget the Lord your God by not keeping His commandments or His rules. Like, it basically is saying, like, listen, I'm going to give you the power to create wealth. Just don't forget where it came from. Yeah. And there are times when God's like, I got to jog your memory. I gotta remind you that, you didn't do all this. And God's not out here to punishment. It's actually for our growth. It's like, He knows what is needed for our development. And sometimes, most of the time, what's needed for our development is the death of something that we loved. Yeah. Or it's the ending of a chapter that's gonna, he sees so many steps ahead. But like you said, there is a theme on this show of like, hey, there's gonna be moments where God's gonna ask something very hard of you. Last year for me was doing a tour with no money. Yeah. And we did it. And no connections. And God, and the Lord, and I want to honor you, bro, because, bro, I had no idea how to do this. And you stepped in and you said, man, I want to help hold up your arms. Bro, you produced an ad strategy. I'm not even kidding. I would say 70% or more of the people that showed up to the tour came because of the ads you ran. Yeah. And I just want to publicly honor you for that, because the Lord gave us a strategy in a very small window of time. We did not have a lot of time.
It was literally like
weeks.
Weeks, dude. Couple weeks.
Before the first event. And obviously we had like a few months before some of the other ones. But it was not long. We're going to have way more leeway time before please.
Way more.
But like in the future. But like, But like God used that to stretch me. God used, hey, turn down this job. The amount of jobs that guys had me turn down in the past year, gigs, I mean, they would have paid me tens of thousands of dollars. But it wasn't God's timing. It wasn't God. I said no to a lot in the past year. All of it is he's developing us through it, you know. And I just think you and your wife modeled that so well. Mm-hmm. Because I know a lot of people that talk about it, but it's just not a lot of people that do it, and a lot of people don't do it because of what he asked of you. Like if we knew the cost, like that, the idea of being used by God is very romantic in nature, but most people don't do it because of how much it's going to cost them.
Bro, here's the thing though. I'm going to share with you two of the biggest lessons that I learned this past in this season that you walked through with me, bro. You walked through everything, and I appreciate you for that. Hebrews. Well, first, before I even go to Hebrews, the biggest thing that I learned, again, coming from where I came from, the biggest thing that God revealed to me is that I'm a son.
Come on.
Media buyer, business owner, entrepreneur, doesn't matter. I'm a son first. All those other things are just adjectives.
Yep.
Right? In that, Hebrews 12 says, endure hardship as discipline. For the Lord disciplines the ones who he loves. If you don't get disciplined, you can't be called a legitimate son or daughter.
Yes.
Our earthly fathers discipline us, and we respect them for it.
Yeah.
Discipline is painful temporarily, but when you learn the lesson, it produces a righteousness.
Yes.
Right? So what I had to learn and what the Lord taught me is all the hardship that I went through is just discipline.
That's good.
And the reason why we get disciplined is because our parents see potential in us, and they have to correct something for us to get to that potential. And so when I understood that, like, hardships are hard. Like, understanding that doesn't make a hardship easier, but also in conjunction with that, when David goes to fight Goliath, he fought Goliath already knowing he was going to be king. So, and fighting a giant was hard.
Yeah.
It's a very scary thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he was like, I can imagine like in his head, he's like, well, God said I was going to be king.
Already, yeah.
So if I'm fighting you and one of us have to die,
it's not me,
and I'm not king yet, buckle up, Buttercup, right? Let me grab that stone real quick,
exactly.
Right? So it doesn't make the hardship easier, but you know the hardship's not going to last if you learn from it, because Hebrews 12:11 says for those, it produces a righteousness for those who learn from it.
Ooh, break the scripture down.
You have to learn from it.
That's good.
So that the hardship stays temporary. The reason why the children of Israel were in the wilderness too long is because they didn't learn.
Ooh.
That journey was
They complained.
It was a 2-week journey.
Yeah.
They
11 days.
Yeah. They complained because they didn't learn that God was going to take care of them. What did they say? They said, we'd rather die in this desert.
Yeah.
And God said, because you said that, you're going to die in this desert.
You have what you say.
You have what you say. You have to watch your words. And I've grown I'm someone that really takes a second to figure out what I'm going to say, because God honors the words that we say.
That's good.
Even if it bites us in the butt. But it's not because he's not good. It's because we wanted it.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just like the hardship's not going to last, because if you know what God's already called you to, and it hasn't happened yet, it just has to happen.
It's just a matter of time.
Another thing that just comes to my mind, the story of the Roman centurion.
Yes.
Where he comes and he's like, I'm a man of authority. I know what it means to just say a word.
Yeah.
And then he said, go, your son will live. When was his son healed?
At the word.
At the word. So the Roman centurion walking back home was not an act of faith for God to heal him. Him walking back home was an act of faith to witness what God already did.
My God.
Because when he meets his messenger,
this is good teaching.
amen. When he meets his messenger, And the messenger says, your boy is well. And he asked, what time did that happen? And he said, yesterday around noon. And he remembers, it was like, that was the exact moment that Jesus said, go.
Man.
So a lot of times we think we have to walk out in faith for God to do something. We have to walk out in faith to witness what he already did.
Oof.
Because he's already written our life.
Yeah.
I am already, I'll say this. This is really funny, but this hit me really hard. I was talking to a mentor of mine, and he's been super successful in business, really crazy man of God. This is going to sound like a silly example, but it really hit me, and it gave me the spiritual application of that story. He was like, I have a Lambo. It's just in the dealership. They're holding the keys for me. And I was going to ask him, I was like, wait, you bought a Lambo? But then I understood what he was saying. He's like, it's already set out for me. I just have to get there.
Yeah.
And I was like, and that gave me like such a profound, like deep spiritual application with how God works. Like it's already set.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing these things for God to do something for me. He's already done it. I just have to walk into it.
Yes.
Walk through the door that's already been open.
Yes. That, man. Woo, you teaching. Man, there's so much I want to, and I wish we had more time to go into all that.
Bro, I got as much time as you need,
Oh
bro.
my goodness. No, but what I love of what you broke down is, like you said, the faith that it takes. With the 10 lepers, like as they went, they were healed. You know, like as soon as God speaks, it's done. I heard Dr. Daniel says this, like, Jesus is he's not doing, it's Tim Timberlake, sorry. He's not doing anything new, technically. He's already done it from the foundation of the world. Isaiah 46:10, where it says, from the ancient times, like he set the end before the beginning. So he works backwards. He doesn't work like we work. He doesn't start something and like hopes that the ending is good. He starts at the end and then works backwards. Mm-hmm. And so if God calls you to start something, hey, lay down gym launch and launch this new company. Well, he already saw the end, and we're just catching up.
Yep. And
so the season of delay and all those different things, yeah, we can prolong stuff. And it's and one of the things, and we shared this in an episode not too long ago, of like, the more I sit with it, the more I realize like God's really not worried about getting me to a destination. He's more concerned with my being disciplined and developed in order to be actually my prayers even have changed of like, Lord, you've already spoken to me about the future of Faith Hustle, the future of my life.
Yep.
The increase, the multiplication, the lives that are going to be changed, the millions that are going to be impacted. I really hold dearly in my heart these words, and it's been confirmed by so many godly men and women.
Yeah.
I'm like, Lord, make me the man that can steward that well. That changes your prayer life. Mm-hmm. Because that actually takes more faith to pray, because now you're like, you're not hoping or wishing. It's like, no, it's going to happen because at your word, you formed the stars. So at your word, if you said this promise over my business, it's going to happen. Make me the man that can handle the responsibility of what you're entrusting to me.
Yep.
And how he does that is by disciplining us through seasons. But if we try to skip it, complain through it, if he's gracious enough not to give it to us. But listen, sometimes it's the prodigal. We take it in our own hands too soon. True. And it destroys us. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be a great tragedy. I mean, listen, my prayer is that, Lord, I don't want to just get the blessing or get the whatever. I want to be able to be found faithful, found pure before you in heart, found humble and contrite in spirit when I get it.
Yep.
Like, I think what deterred me so much, even in the business world, I just saw people like, yeah, they had the stuff that I was told I should want, but I didn't want the spirit that they had. Like, just the money is not the root of all evil, right? Like the love of money is, right? But if you're not careful, that spirit of mammon will change you. Yeah. And it will reveal some of the ugly stuff that's on the inside. Yep. And God uses, I love he's talking about Hebrews 12. I've been Hebrews 12 probably for the past few years now. But, I mean, even the word disciple is in the word discipline. Yeah. Like, you can't be a true disciple if to me, a true fruit of someone who really is a follower of Christ, can God tell you no? Can God tell you no? Because if he can't, then he's just a homeboy. He's just a sidekick. He's just someone he's just like an advisor. Yeah. It's like, nah, he has direct, this is not my business. This is not my life. This is it's his. It's not my money, it's his money. Mm-hmm. If he tells me to do something with it, I just do it. Because otherwise, don't call yourself a disciple. Exactly. Just don't. Exactly. And dude, something came to my mind. I don't know if there's anyone that's going to be watching this that needs this, but the word that came to my mind is pruning. It's very similar. Like, they go, like, the pruning process, Hebrews 12, they kind of go along the same thing. Mm-hmm. Where a lot of people get stuck is they don't have a proper understanding of what God says. Yes. What God means, yes, and they use that misunderstanding to guide their life. And the reason why pruning came up was because I was talking with a friend this week, and we're talking about the new business. He might be coming on and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I might be." He said, "Oh, I might have to move to Dallas." I was like, "Don't play with me, bro!" Like, and he was like, "Now we'll see what happens." And he said, my wife and I are in a pruning season, and I don't think she's going to hang around. And, like, I think there's something going on in their marriage and stuff, and they might get a divorce. And then I told him, I was like, bro, pruning doesn't happen to dead things. It happens to things that produce to produce more. Ooh. And so... the scripture says he cuts off things that don't produce, and then he prunes the things that. But you don't prune something, like, you don't prune a dead plant. You prune a producing plant that has dead parts to it, and so I've witnessed a lot of people use that word. They use that word to make it seem like the pruning is a bad thing. Bro, it's the best thing that could happen to you, because it means you're a fruit, you're a tree that produces. Yes. God doesn't prune dead trees, just like he doesn't discipline people that aren't his sons and daughters. That's good. So, like, if you're getting disciplined, it's because you're a son or daughter. If you're going through hardship, it's because you're a son or daughter. Yeah. Just learn from it. And if you're getting pruned, like, it's because you have produced, and he wants you to produce more. Yeah. And so that is so good. It just all comes back to an understanding. And, like, dude, like, even back with ads, right? Like, when I said, like, don't do just what everyone else does, understand why what they do works. Yes. Understand the why. Understand, like, the whys of God. Yeah. Right? Why does he do what he do? Sometimes we might not get an answer. And that's, like, I mean, with Job, it's like, even if I don't give you an answer, like, are you still going to believe I'm good? Yeah. Yeah, dude. I just think that people need to be disciplined by God, and don't get mad at him for doing it, because the other option is you don't get disciplined, but that's because you're not a child of God. And you know what's funny? I'll never forget. I got spanked when I was younger. Got a whooping. Got the belt. Got the we used to call it the fivefold ministry. I got the fivefold ministry. Wait, what's the fivefold? The paddle, no, the hand, the smack. Yeah. Bro, I got whooped once and that was it. Oh, really? Oh man, I wish. Too much, I wish, dude. My dad's a strong man. So. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. No, it was like a once a week thing for me. It felt like it didn't last long, but they did not spare the rod for me. Hey. And I'll never forget. You know, as a kid, you're like, man, why? You know, that am I getting? Then I remember I went to public school for the first time, and I was like, thank you for spanking me. Because I was like, man, these kids, All y'all need to get spanked.
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like,
saying,
like
bruh.
you always can tell a undisciplined child.
Yeah.
Like it's just apparent. But then kids that are like well-behaved, manner, respectful, carry themselves with dignity and this and that. You're like, you ask them like, hold on, how did you get that way? Oh, my parents disciplined me.
And so what you just said is the fruit of the discipline. If you don't even just have to be an entrepreneur, but if you're not someone that has love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, I know that you're not being disciplined.
Yep.
Well, I know that you might not be getting disciplined, or you're not learning from it.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you would have the fruit of the discipline.
It is evident.
Yeah.
So like I can look at you, I can look at others in my life that I see massive fruit, display the heart of God, character of God, and I can ask them about their journey, and they definitely have gone through pruning season, discipline season, testing season, seasons of suffering. Because what produces on the side, you look more like Christ.
Yep.
And that's the whole point. This has been, man, so good. Okay. I do want to close here. Obviously, there's a lot of things that you're stepping into now, the new business that you're building, obviously being a father, all the stuff that God's doing in your life. What's something that just from these years that you know, and these lessons that you've been learning that you're looking forward to implement into this new season? And more or less what I'm trying to get to is like, what's some of the things that you're putting in place of like, hey, before I did this, but now I'm doing this. I'm putting this in place now into what we're building, what we're doing. I'd love to learn what you're excited to implement.
Yeah. I'm excited to implement more discipline. I'm disciplined in a lot of areas. There's some areas I'm not, and I need to be. Because with what I'm doing in business, by the way, guys, it's life insurance. Like, I'm building a life insurance agency. Bro, best industry in the world. Anyways, if you want to learn more about it, DM me sales on Instagram and I'll reach out.
Sales on it, come on now.
In this space, yeah, you know, I sell policies to people, but more than that, I'm cultivating a space for the people that work with me to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And I need to make sure, and even outside of work, like I have a baby coming. I want to make sure that I'm dialed in every area.
Yeah.
And so the Lord's revealed to me some places where I can have more discipline. And so I just need to be more disciplined in it. And I know that it's going to pay with my kid, but it's also going to pay like in business too.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Dude, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what the Lord's going to do and is doing. I'll put all your information below so people can ask questions if they want a policy. But
life insurance, what me and you have in common, what everyone has in common that's watching, we're all going to die one day.
That's true.
We're all going to die, and you're going to leave a family behind that's either going to be protected or not. They're going to be grieving either way. Are they going to be protected or not protected? Get protected.
Ooh,
DM me
okay,
sales.
all right, sales pitch. Sales pitch. Let's
That's
go.
crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
Man, thank you. Thank you for just sharing your heart.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, I told you, I was like, I kind of have a direction, but like, honestly, like I abandoned most of my questions and
good, bro.
which I love. Like
It's two homies talking.
It's two homies talking, but man, I thank you for being a great friend. Thank you for being a part of the Faith Hustle team and being with us on this journey. You're helping me shoot content on the tour and just like so many things. Y'all just showed up and just it means a lot. And I'm excited for what God's doing in this new season for you and Brandon and the whole team. And yeah, it's exciting to see what the Lord's doing. But yeah, signing off here. Y'all have an amazing week. We're going to see you again next Wednesday for another incredible episode. Thank you, bro, for being on.
Of course, man.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Faith Hustle Podcast. We hope you felt challenged, encouraged, and equipped to walk out your faith hustle. And if you enjoyed this episode, we encourage you to subscribe to the podcast, whether you're listening on YouTube or any audio platform. As well, leave us a review. It helps us so much in our ratings so we can get the word out to more people. Each week we have these conversations with business owners who build their business God's way. And so we look forward to growing with you on your faith hustle journey. We'll see you next time.